10 is not enough, and I want to talk about more platformers. So let's talk about more platformers, starting off with number 10, Yooka-Laylee. You see, I would not blame you if you thought that this was just a remake of the first game from 10 years ago. No, it's actually so much more. It's actually supposed to be a retelling of the first game. The great thing about this is it's basically being advertised as what the original Yooka-Laylee should have been. So just because you didn't like the original does not mean you're not going to like this one. So for example, the arcade sections, everyone hated, are replaced with a completely new type of game, which seems to be really cool. You no longer have to unlock all the moves, you actually get them all from the beginning, and there's a bunch of changes, like more collectibles and redesigns and everything. So yeah, give it a shot. I'm gonna try and go back and forth between well-known games and more obscure games. So we go from one of the more famous ones from Yooka-Laylee to this really cool looking game that I don't think enough people know about. So, you know, we've seen games with 2D sprites and 3D worlds, but this is an interesting one because it's got this weird, I don't know, 1632-bit look, and on top of that, the actual gameplay seems to be really cool because you're catching these monsters like Pokemon and all. I don't know if that's still allowed with the Nintendo patent and all, but anyways, you're collecting these monsters, you're leveling them up, and then you actually play as them in the platforming sections, and then you also get to fuse them and mix them together to combine their powers and all. And yeah, that sounds like something I've never seen in a platformer, so looks really cool. Really looking forward to it. No idea when it's coming out, but I'll be there when it is out.
I'm pac-man.
I'm really glad that this remake trend has finally hit platformers with Yooka-Laylee and now with this. So it's Pac-Man World Repack 2 or 2 Repack, whatever it is. So this one, if you haven't played the series, it basically tries to translate the Pac-Man formula vaguely into a 3D platformer. The first one is a more linear level-based one, whereas this one I think is more of an open one, and the remake seems to add a bunch of new features and quality of life improvements, and obviously it looks great. So I might check it out in a few days when it comes out on the 26th. I really wonder what the most commonly used animal in the 3D platformer genre is, but I'm betting it's cats. Because up next we have Blast Cats, which is a fixed camera platformer where you play as a cat, and it's got this wacky, zany, but also kind of weird vibe with kind of the squash and stretch thing and smashing things with hammers. It's got a bunch of mini games, really looks cool here. It's got a demo out, it's a bit old, but it's still pretty good. So you can try it out whenever you want, and yeah. I guess platformer fans like cats.
Time to teach those two not to mess with Bikini Bottom.
So I've been wanting to talk a bit about Purple Lamp, the developers of the SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom remake and its sequel and the Epic Mickey remake. And this is basically their fourth seemingly great platformer in around 4 or 5 years. So they are a platforming powerhouse. So this game is their third SpongeBob game, after Bikini Bottom and the Cosmic Shake, and if you played Cosmic Shake, you know that they know their SpongeBob. I'm not a SpongeBob fan, but I really enjoyed both games, and this one seems to be going a step further in platforming, where you can switch between SpongeBob and Patrick, and if you play the Bikini Bottom remake, you know that they have their own abilities. So now you get to use both at the same time and swap back and forth. I'm really looking forward to the possibilities here. There's no demo, but I think you know if you want this game or not. I don't need to convince you. Up next we have Flit and Flutter, previously known as Flit the Fruit Bat. So this comes from the developer of Clive and Wrench, one of my favorite recent platformers, and developer Rob seems to be honing in on a PS1 type of game feel, with inspirations such as Spyro the Dragon and Muppet Monster Adventure. It seems to have much smaller levels but more focused levels than Clive and Wrench. It looks fantastic and I cannot wait to play it. No demo out, not sure when the release date is, but if Clive and Wrench is any indication, it's going to be a great game.
At this rate, you bring me no choice. We're tossing the script and moving on.
So I always like when platformers and games in general do something unique, and this seems to be doing something really unique, and that it's a musical 3D platformer. And when I say musical, I mean, yes, like Hamilton. You have singing characters within the game, within the story, and that includes boss fights with bosses singing while chasing you and things like that, which is super interesting. Seems to have a great presentation, character design is great, gameplay looks pretty good, and yeah, I think there's a very old demo out there on itch, but if you'd like to play a more recent version of the game, you're probably going to have to support them on Patreon, which I would probably recommend if you have the means. because again, it looks like a great game and it's coming out sometime in the future. I have no idea. So this next one is from the developers of Webbed, which is a 2D spider platformer, which was really well received and seems really fun, and it's kind of physics based. And I love seeing developers stretch their wings, and they seem to be doing that with this, with their Shift 3D. And obviously you can see there's a grappling hook. You're playing as a tiny creature in this massive world, which is one of my favorite tropes in 3D platformers, and it's got a more realistic art style and everything. If the reviews for their first game is any indication, this is probably going to be a great game. So give it a look and enjoy it when it comes out this October. So I know I talked about cats and how popular they are in platformers, and this is another cat in a platformer, but the actual gameplay loop seems really interesting. So you're a conductor cat, as the title suggests, and you're collecting scrap, throwing it back into your train, building stuff, for example, a spring, bridges, things like that, to get to your destination, to remove whatever's obstructing your train. Seems really cool. The story is inspired by Castle in the Sky, the Studio Ghibli movie, which also really fascinates me. So yeah, give it a look. You know, cats, again, really popular. So we go from talking about cats to talking about The Big Catch, which is a great looking game where you go around in this massive open oasis and catch fish and take it back to your filet restaurant, I think, or something like that. And the great thing about this game is it's got such a strong and fantastic sense of identity and such a unique, again, I say this word a lot, but such a unique vibe. So there's a demo out, a very sizable demo out. Some people called it their game of the year last year, so it's that good. Give it a try on Steam. There's almost no other game out there that's given me the vibe that this game has given me, and that's the vibes that PS2 games used to give me, and that's the fully realized world. So it's supposed to come out in the year of our Lord TBA, so I actually don't know when it's coming out, but really keep an eye on this one because it looks fantastic, and if it's as good as the demo, then this might be one of the best platformers in years. So that's all. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you'd like a part 3. Honestly, did some more digging up. I think I can even make a part 4. So write down in the comments, I guess. I hate saying that. I feel like such a YouTuber, but you know the drill. Anyway, enjoy your day, night, or yeah, see ya.